If you're shopping for a pellet grill right now, there's about a 60% chance you're about to waste somewhere between $800 and $2,000. Not because you picked the wrong size or the wrong fuel type, but because the grill you're looking at will rust out, lose temperature by 50 degrees in the middle of a cook, and get classified as cosmetic damage when you try to file a warranty claim. I know that because I just spent an embarrassing number of hours pulling SEC filings, reading owner forums, and comparing specs that manufacturers go out of their way to bury. What I found made me angry on behalf of anyone standing in that grill aisle at Home Depot right now, because the pellet grill industry in 2026 is basically designed to reward the brands with the biggest marketing budgets, not the ones building the best grills. So before you swipe your card in that outdoor aisle, let me save you the trouble. There is one spec on a pellet grill that matters more than cooking area, more than Wi-Fi connectivity, more than whatever celebrity pitmaster is on the box. It's called a PID controller, and I personally think it's the single most important thing nobody at the store is going to explain to you. PID stands for Proportional Integral Derivative, and all you need to know is that it's the brain inside your grill that decides how many pellets to feed and how fast to run the fan. A good PID controller holds your temperature within 5 to 10 degrees of where you set it. A cheap, time-based controller, which is what you'll find in most budget pellet grills sitting on the shelf at Walmart and Lowe's, just cycles the auger on and off like a light switch. That means your grill set to 225 might actually be cooking at 175 one minute and 275 the next. You'll never know until your brisket comes out like shoe leather and you blame yourself instead of the grill. That detail alone probably just saved you $800. But pay attention to this next part, because it explains why the most popular brand in the country might be the worst value. Traeger invented the pellet grill back in 1985. They basically created this entire category, and for a long time, they were the standard. So in July 2021, they went public on the New York Stock Exchange at $18 a share. The stock briefly touched $31. Investors were thrilled. By November 2025, that same stock was trading at 78 cents. That's a 97% decline. The NYSE sent them a formal warning for trading below $1. And in March 2026, Traeger executed a 1-for-50 reverse stock split just to stay listed. Their market cap went from over $2 billion to roughly $80 million. I spent 3 hours digging through their SEC filings, and what I found was pretty bleak. Revenue peaked at $785 million during the pandemic and has dropped every single year since. The guidance for 2026 is $465 to $485 million. That's a 40% decline from peak. And they have never, not once, posted a profitable year since going public. So what does a company do when it's bleeding money and needs to cut costs? It cuts corners on the product. Which brings me to the part that Traeger owners on every forum I visited complained about the most: the firepot. The thing at the center of the grill where pellets actually burn. On a Traeger, this is not stainless steel. It's regular steel with a coating, and owner after owner reports it rusting through in under 2 years. One guy on the Traeger owners forum in Texas said he's gone through multiple firepots on that exact timeline. A Home Depot reviewer with a $3,500 Timberline, their top-of-the-line flagship, wrote that barely a year after the warranty expired, the entire thing was rusted out and unusable. Traeger offered him 15% off a new one. And Traeger's official policy classifies rust as cosmetic damage, which means they won't cover it under warranty. I'll be honest, reading through those rusted-out Traeger photos on the owner forums changed my entire perspective on the brand, and what comes next is the comparison that I think will change yours too. Now compare that to RecTeq, a company most people haven't heard of because they don't sell at big box stores. The RecTeq Flagship, 1,100 costs $1,299. The Traeger Ironwood costs $1,800 to $2,000. So you'd assume the Traeger is the better grill, right? The Flagship 1100 has 1,100 square inches of cooking space compared to Traeger's 616. It has a 40-pound hopper that runs 30-plus hours uninterrupted compared to Traeger's 22-pound hopper that needs refilling during a long brisket smoke. The entire body, firepot, barrel, grates, and drip pan are all 304 stainless steel. And RecTeq backs it with a 6-year warranty. Traeger gives you 3. So you're getting nearly double the cooking space, vastly better materials, twice the warranty coverage, and you're paying $500 to $700 less. That's not a marginal difference. That's two entirely different products wearing the same category label. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I break down products like this every week so you don't have to do the digging yourself. Alright, so RecTeq wins on build quality and value. But Camp Chef is the one I think most people overlook, and I'll tell you why. The Camp Chef Woodwind Pro 24 runs about $1,199, and it has two features that flat out don't exist on any other pellet grill in this price range. The first is something called slide and grill. You pull a lever and expose your food to direct flame for searing up to 650 degrees. Every other pellet grill in this category cooks indirectly only, which means if you want to sear, you need a second grill or a cast iron pan. Camp Chef solved that problem in one unit. The second feature is a 10-level independent smoke control that operates separately from the temperature setting. On every other pellet grill, when you set the temperature, the smoke output is locked to whatever the controller decides. Camp Chef lets you dial smoke up or down independently. That is the most versatile approach on the market right now, and it amazes me that more people don't talk about it. Now, I know some of you are wondering about Green Mountain grills. Their dual-band Wi-Fi is the best connectivity in the entire industry, running on both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, which matters because every other brand only works on 2.4, and modern mesh routers hate that. Their new Ledge Prime 2.0 at $999 is a solid grill on paper. What concerns me is that Green Mountain was acquired in early 2023 by AZE Commerce out of Suzhou, China, the same parent company that owns Z Grills. Since that acquisition, forum complaints about auger motor failures and motherboard issues within the first 2 years have become a consistent pattern. The grill might be fine. The ownership trajectory worries me. One more thing nobody tells you about: pellet consumption. Think of this as the miles per gallon of your grill. At smoking temperatures, most pellet grills burn about 1 to 1.5 pounds of pellets per hour. A 12-hour brisket cook chews through 12 to 18 pounds. Now look at the price difference. Traeger brand pellets cost about 75 cents to $1 per pound. Lumberjack pellets, which use 100% flavor wood with no filler oak, cost 22 to 42 cents per pound at Rural King. Over a year of weekend smoking, that's the difference between $75 in pellet costs and $400. Same grill, same food, 5 times the cost because of the brand name on the bag. And I should mention, both Lumberjack and Bear Mountain pellets are now owned by the same parent company, Lignetics, which is a portfolio company of a $4.8 billion private equity firm called Eagletree Capital. Even the pellet market is consolidating. So if you walked into this video not knowing what to buy, here's where I'd put my own money. For best overall value in a pellet grill, I'd buy the RecTeq Flagship 1100 at $1,299. If I wanted the most versatile grill with direct flame searing and independent smoke control, I'd buy the Camp Chef Woodwind Pro 24. And if I were on a tighter budget and wanted something under $1,000, the Weber Searwood 600 at around $899 is arguably the best value in its class after Weber completely scrapped their disaster-prone smokefire line and rebuilt from scratch. The one thing I would not do is pay $1,800 to $2,000 for a Traeger Ironwood when 3 different competitors offer more cooking space, better materials, longer warranties, and lower prices. That's not brand loyalty. That's just leaving money on the patio. YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so click it. And if you made it to the end, subscribe.